couple of years ago, a young girl looked at me, puzzled. She asked her mother, "Mama, Mama, what's wrong with his eyes?" "Shh, I never asked such questions," the mother answered almost immediately. Ashamed, the young girl soon became inhibited and almost uncomfortable in my presence. Now, if you're wondering what's wrong with my eyes, well, I was born with a birth defect that causes me to have blurred vision and my eyes raised upwards. So no worries, all of you today look absolutely stunning and wrinkles-free. Well, my presence at school was yet a similar story. As I was to be enrolled, the principal at school showed great skepticism. But it wasn't just her. It was also the teachers, the students, and also the parents. Understandably, they did not know how to approach me. So, like the young girl I mentioned earlier, felt uncomfortable in my presence, hence showed great skepticism. Handicapped, disabled, ahwan, ama, mu'aq. These words they used to describe me, never really caring to see beyond the person within me. When I was bullied in the playground at school, the supervisors chose to shun me away in the corridors under the disguise that this was to protect me, rather than to inform the others of my humanness in spite of my visual impairment. Yes, this is it, my humanness. Now, I wish for all of you in the audience here who have difficulty in mathematics to raise your hands, please, even though I can't see them. Well, what about those of you who have difficulty in doing other things besides mathematics? I can see here a great show of hands. Does any of you consider themselves disabled or perhaps a complete failure as a whole person for having difficulty in mathematics? I doubt it. Then how is it that, given my difficulty in seeing, I would be eventually labeled as disabled, handicapped, mu'aq, and other words? Well, much like you have difficulty in mathematics or other things, I have difficulty in seeing. All of us here have special differences. And all of us manage to find a way to work around them. In case of mathematics, you would get a tutor, or possibly do some extra practice exercises. In my case, I had to interpret the world and walk around in a much different way than anyone else. But that does not change my essence. That does not change anyone's essence. After years of torment, years in which I thought I was the problem, years of sheer suffering, I had this realization that it may not be me who is the problem, but it could be the way society looks at individuals. If society focuses on what an individual visibly lacks, what is not capable to do, then society is likely to marginalize and exclude that individual, much like with what happened to me when I was shunned in the corridors. Hence, dare I say, society would disable the individual. However, if society were to look at what the individual potentially can do and is capable of doing, regardless of any difficulty, be it in mathematics or, in my case, seeing, then society is likely to offer further opportunities to improve this individual's chances in succeeding in life. In mathematics, that would be, as I mentioned earlier, tutoring or additional practice exercises. In my case, it would be more resources, such as public transportation or other kinds of accommodations. In my case, my mother, my family, my instructors here at LEU, and my girlfriend Nina are among the many who have supported me. However, not everyone with special differences has this luxury. Why, you may ask me? Well, because I never asked such questions. Much like the mother told the young girl, as I mentioned earlier. So I tell you, please ask, for we are all equal, no matter what our special differences are. Thank you.